Hi, I'm Aimee Cross, and I am here today with Richard Miller of GoldieMay. He let me come over to his house and hang out with him and take a look at what he's been doing. I have known him for a couple of years now, and a nicer guy you will not find, and I really like what he's doing, and I think his program might actually answer some of the things that you all have been asking me about. There's a couple of things about GoldieMay that are very helpful, and part of it is totally free. So I'm going to tell you a little bit about what they've got and why I think it might be important to you. There's two main aspects that I personally really love. One is the organizational methods of it, and the second is the searching methods, particularly regarding newspapers. Y'all want to find where the newspapers are that you have for your family? His GoldieMay application can do that for you. So, Richard, thank you so much.
Thank you.
I really appreciate you being here.
Thank you.
So today we're going to dive in because I know your time is valuable and we're going to make this fun. So first of all, he's going to show you, we're just going to kind of walk through it. We're going to show you first the free aspects of the program so that you can see what you can get for nothing. And let's start with that.
Okay, awesome. Thank you. Okay. Mm-hmm. All right, so let me just jump in quickly to say that if you want to install May, you would go to GoldieMay.com and click on Install in Chrome. Okay. And then you'll see you'll go to the Chrome Web Store and it'll say Add to Chrome, but I already have it, so it says Remove. And then you would come up here and see the GoldieMay icon in your little puzzle piece icon. So you look in here, all your extensions are there, and you could pin it into your bar if you'd like. So that's where the black G comes from. So then you'll click the Open GoldieMay. You'll sign in with your Family Search account. You need a free Family Search account, but you don't need to use Family Search after that if you don't want to.
But I should add, it works on Family Search. It connects with Family Search and with Ancestry, right?
Yep, that's right.
Okay.
Yep. As a free user of GoldieMay, you'd come in and see projects, research log, and then not everything on this menu will be available to you, but the projects and research log are the main tools for organization in GoldieMay. So you can come into a project and say, like, I want to do a new project, and you start to put in the title, notes, tasks, and have a place to organize all your research you're doing. So this might be by family line, or it might be by the client work you're doing, but it's saved to the cloud. So if you sign out of GoldieMay and you go to your in-laws' house or wherever and sign back in, all your research is there. So you don't need to take a thumb drive with you anywhere you go. And so I go to the library or I go to a Family Search Center and open up GoldieMay, sign in, and all my stuff is right there. Okay. So that's what you can do with projects. And then the research log is a way to, you've installed it in your browser, so it knows what page you're on. So if you come over here to say, Henry Dotson, and you click log page, this pulls over the URL that you're looking at, pulls in the title, the URL. You can leave a like, a dislike, comments, citation. The citation is the one paid feature in here. Everything else is free. You can also take screenshots. So if you come into one of the sources you're looking at, and let's just open up one of these sources, 1850 census. So here's Henry Dotson in the 1850 census. I can choose right click, take a screenshot, and then draw a box around that family, and that will pull that screenshot into my research log. You'll see that appear in a couple seconds. And so that's a great way to refer back to the record. And it's great too if you're at the Family Search Center or Family Search Library and you're looking at records that you can't see from home. You can take a screenshot of it. Now it's saved. You will see it from home when you get home and sign into GoldieMay. So that's cool.
So that really isn't a place where you would put a record that you're trying to download and keep the record. Yeah. It's just kind of more of a place to put a reference shot.
That's right. Yep. That's right.
Okay.
So yeah.
One of the other things that I really like about this is when we're talking about the like or dislike and some of those other aspects of this, if you're looking at a particular record and you're like, this is not my guy, but you want to remember that you looked at the record and it's not your guy, you can put that in there, which is really helpful.
That's right. Yeah.
So love that.
Yeah, so a thumbs down is a negative result, right? You're like flipping through the film of the Wilsons or whoever, the Dotsons. You get to the D's and he's not there, so thumbs down it and say, like, I didn't find him, but that's where he should have been.
Okay.
Yep.
And then can you go back to the project page?
Yeah.
Let's go ahead and use an example of how you would use this project page and how it could be really effective in research.
Okay.
Can you do that really quick?
Yeah. So I'll come in here and say, let's pretend that I don't have parents for Henry Dotson. I might want to say, I'm looking for parents of Henry Dotson. Now you have a place in the project to record the people, the research subjects, and you could type the names here. Or if alternatively, you can come in to get the Family Search ID for that person and paste it in. It will pull in the name and the photo and kind of build out the little
so it'll add all
profile.
that information automatically. Okay, what about if you're using this with Ancestry? How does that work?
If you do Ancestry, then just type it in like this, Luce Henry.
Yep. Okay, good to know.
Yeah, and then you have a task list. So you could say, I'm going to check censuses and I'm going to check birth, marriage, and death records, and I'm going to check. You make your list of things to do
Okay.
there. If you're, let me
And then you can check them off when you've done it?
That's
then?
right. You'll check them off when you're done.
Okay.
You can move them around if you kind of want to change the order that you're working on.
Love that.
Yep. And then let me switch over to the catalog for this area. So say you get to a catalog page like this for Rabun County, Georgia, and you know there's several types of records you're going to want to look at. You could come in here and right click on any of these and choose create task from link.
Oh, I love that.
And so that will drop that in as a task.
And then you have that URL. You're going right there.
That's right.
Love
so
that.
you kind of build up your plan instead of going on the rabbit hole of one at a time. Build up your plan and then start checking them off one by one. So you'd click this link, open up that place, do the search, mark it off when you're done, and you go through your task list.
And let me add, in case you didn't pick up on what he said, because we went over that really quick, and I think it's actually really important. It's so easy when you're doing research on somebody and you see a record and then you want to go look at it right away. Mm-hmm. And then that's the rabbit hole, right? And then you're diving into that, but you've kind of lost your train of thought. What's the big picture? What is it that I need to do for this guy? And I really love being able to do that because then you can make your list. And then when you have time, particularly like when you're looking at records like deeds or probate records that have not been indexed, it's going to take you time to look at those records. It's not going to be a quick fix. And so, you may take you an hour to go through all of those records, and maybe you don't want to take the time to do that then, but you want to have that reference for you later. So I actually really think that's super helpful.
Good. Well, thank you. And you've done a lot of client work, so you know that there's certain records that pay off sooner than others, right? So you want to put those in order, right? They're in alphabetical order when you look in the catalog. But if you were to put them in order by likelihood to answer your question, then you'd do it in a separate order.
Yeah, definitely. Great.
Good.
Okay, let's switch over now. There was one other aspect of organization that I really liked that you call the canvas, because a lot of people, and I am this way, are very visual, and I like being able to play with the visual abilities that you have. Now, this is part of the paid feature, and so that would be something that you would, need to subscribe to if you wanted to use this. But can you show us that really quick?
Yeah, okay. So this is like before I built GoldieMay, I would have tons of papers on my desk. So I'm going to print out records. I'm going to scribble on them, sort them out. You can imagine like yarn strings between things or something.
Yeah.
You could do this online now with this GoldieMay canvas. So the idea is you're going to take screenshots and put them into the canvas and then move them around and draw on them. And let me just show you one that's kind of pre-built. So I'll go to this pre-1850 research. And here I've taken a screenshot of an 1840 census. So pre-1850, you don't have anybody except the head of household. And so all the rest of the family is going to be tally marks. And so you're seeing these 3 tally marks. It's kind of cut off here. There's females after this. But so these first 3 tally marks are the males. And so I took the purple pen and I said, okay, this is an 1840 census. These columns are age 5 to 10, 10 to 15, and 30 to 40.
Right.
And so then I did the math to say in green, that must mean it's these year ranges. And then I took a screenshot of the family search tree, and I'm going to draw red arrows to say, this tally mark
is probably
him.
Yeah.
And the 2 sons are those. So that's the quick way to sort them out. And so this is the alternative to having it scribbled out on a paper that you lose or you can't carry with you. It's all right there. It's part of your project. And this is just one way you could use a visual tool to sort out your records.
I like that. And a lot of people mind map too. They need to just kind of like work it out. And this would give you the location to do that where it saves it to that individual so that when you go back to pull them back up again, like you said, it's not on some other document or a piece of scratch paper. So I thought that was kind of interesting too, and maybe you will as well. Well, let's talk a little bit more about the hinting and the searching functions because it's pretty powerful and you've just added some new stuff that I really like.
Yeah, okay, good.
And it has to do with newspapers, people, and I know a lot of you guys like newspapers. So you want to watch this, trust me.
Yes, okay, good. So up in this corner, there's this magnifying glass that is kind of hiding up here, but this is a place to search for collections across the big 4 genealogy sites, the big 3 newspaper sites, and a few others. Okay. So the idea here is a certain record you're looking for, say 1950 census. You type 1950 census, it's going to bring up MyHeritage, Find My Past, Ancestry, Family Search, and you can jump to any of those collections directly from the search box. So you hit enter on that, and it opens up that collection on that particular site. Now you're noticing that it's also bringing up 1950 census because these are 2 GoldieMay projects that mention the 1950 census.
Okay.
So it's also searching all your GoldieMay stuff as well, but it's searching across these collections. And notice how the record count is there, so you can kind of see which of the providers has 15.9 million on who has more. And so
that's really interesting.
Yeah, so you choose a place that's like
you want to go, and
where
you can also
go.
choose by cost too. If cost
Yeah,
is an issue
that's right.
for you, you can say, well, I can't go on Ancestry because I don't have a membership to that right now, but I can go see that on Family Search for free.
That's right.
So I like that too.
Yeah. So then those are the censuses. When we go to Nevada, let's say in Las Vegas, you start to see newspapers. So the red icon is storied, then Genealogy Bank, then newspapers.com. And what's new now is that newspapers.com listings are in there.
Yeah,
so,
that's brand new, people.
Brand new.
And I love newspapers.com because there's just so much in there.
Yes.
Great.
So when it's every newspaper site's different. They all cover different cities and places. So it's hard to know which one is going to be the subscription you need for your family.
Yeah.
That's where GoldieMay will help. So if you know you're in a particular place, come type it in here, and that'll be the way to know which newspaper site will help you the most.
But I can also search. You said that if I have information in GoldieMay, I could also type somebody's name in there, right? And then I could find the information that you have for that individual that you've already inputted into GoldieMay. Is that correct?
Yeah, you can search for people in here. This is going to be 8 generations of your family search tree.
Okay.
So not Ancestry yet, but if you know, I want to jump to Chrissy Dotson in my tree.
Okay.
Search by name, and that will pull her up in your tree.
Oh, but it's also pulling up the projects that you have, looking for parents of Henry Dodson within GoldieMay.
That's right.
So it's accomplishing both of those things. Okay, I like that.
Yep.
All right, and then we talked too about this subway map, which leads you to another newspaper thing. We're not done with newspapers, people. So you got to see this. This is really cool.
All right, so this is the GoldieMay subway map. It's showing the places and the time that a person lived, and these white dots come from facts on the tree. So you kind of see at a glance the person's life over time. Now, here's where it gets interesting. You turn on the hints right here. The dots that appear are census hints, and so and then the bars are newspaper hints. So hover over this bar, and you'll see that at the time period that he might have been living in that county of New York, there was a newspaper there hosted on Storied that might contain information about his life.
Gosh, that's so cool. Okay, show me another one. So those ones are on what site is that?
That's Genealogy Bank.
Okay.
And so, and then come down here to Adams County,
Oh, and now
Iowa.
we're seeing a bunch of different ones.
Yeah, so that's right. And you see some of them are the same. Like Adams County Free Press is available at Storied or newspapers.com.
So
you can see which one has more pages.
Yeah.
And then you click the link, and that will launch the search for you. So it's going to pre-fill the name and the years that he lived in that county into that newspaper. So you're now searching for your needle in a much smaller haystack.
Okay.
Instead of searching like all of Storied, it's like right in the county, right in the newspaper that you might appear in.
But it searched for his full name. So just for giggles, can you edit the search and take out his first name and let's see
check.
what we find? I'm curious to see if you find that name. Wow, now that we're seeing other family members by that name, maybe he went by his first initial. Lots of newspaper strategies here, folks, on how to search newspapers. But the fact that you can compare the different papers that are out there and see what is available in that particular area is really helpful. I love that.
Yeah, well, thank you. And if you're looking in the right county at the right time, really good chance that anybody by that name is going to be related, right?
Yeah.
So
especially by an unusual name like that. Now, just to let you know, this is one of the paid features, so that's something that you do need to keep in mind. Can you scroll down a little bit more on that page, though? Because I also saw the county changes that you put in there, and that is like, I love that, too.
Yeah, okay. So you probably used the Atlas of Historical County Boundaries before.
Yeah, a couple different places I have. Yeah.
Okay, so you go in and look up your place. This is going to just put the data right in context. So you hover over the gray line. It'll say Livingston County was created from those other 2 counties at that time period.
So because I've said this lots of times in my videos, the records are kept in the counties in which they were created for the most part. Not absolutely always, but almost. So you need to know when there's been a county switch, and this is a really quick way for you to do that as well. So that's very helpful. So I love this. I really love this a lot. Tell me a little bit more about what the membership is, and if you did want to get these extra features, what it's going to cost.
Yeah, okay. So the GoldieMay subway map is available 5 times per month for free. So choose 5 ancestors, put them in, and then you get to use it all month long in those 5, including the hints, including the county changes. And then on the first of the month, it resets, and you can do 5 more. So that's one way to use the subway map for free. The other way to try out all this stuff is to go to your closest family search center.
Oh.
And all of GoldieMay is available for free in the centers. You can try them out there.
Okay, wait a minute. Let me back up, because a lot of people ask me about this kind of stuff. So let's say I go to a family search center. Can I have an account with GoldieMay and save it to my information so that I'm have my research log, and access then these other features for free in the center through my account?
That's right.
Really?
Yeah.
Ooh,
So,
people, that's not always working that way with other sites. So that's pretty cool.
Yeah, you will sign in with your account,
Okay.
but then it will detect that you're in the center and you'll see all the features. Yep.
Ooh, I love that. Love that.
Yeah.
Okay.
So then if people are interested in a subscription for home use because they don't want to be at the center, then you can, normally it's $12 per month for the Plus plan. That will get you most of what you need. There's a Pro plan that has a couple more features we haven't talked about. It's $24 a month.
Okay.
You can get 2 months free if you subscribe for the year.
Okay.
But then for your viewers, there's a code, Aimee, that will give them 20% off for the first year. So
that's great.
whether monthly or annual, you get 20% off with the code Aimee.
All right. So remember, my name is spelled weird, people. It's Aimee. I'm going to put the link to that in the description of the video in the show notes below. So you can also visit that to go to that site and go ahead and sign up if it's something that you're interested in. So thank you so much. I think this is really helpful. I really want to help people find ways to be more successful in their genealogy research. And I really do think that the tools that you've been providing are really doing that. And for those of you that aren't as familiar with GoldieMay, it's really not terribly old, and he is killing it. He is adding new stuff to this all the time and making a really powerful tool. So thank you.
Thank you. Very kind of you. I appreciate that.
Have a great day. Thanks for watching.